two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Time to get our first look on offense at Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, 1-3 right now, Charles. Not the start that anybody in Atlanta envisioned. And Matt Ryan, a dubious record. He's now the first quarterback to lose back-to-back games in which he threw for 350 or more yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Yeah, you talk about a record that you're not going to be real proud of, right? Normally you're talking, hey, that's kind of cool. That's just frustrating. For that type of production to come back with back-to-back losses.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Hitchens. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Ryan to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Ryan now to throw on third down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Falcons coming back onto the field here. And earlier we gave a dubious stat about Matt Ryan. How about a dubious team stat after that loss last week, Charles? Falcons first team since 1966 to score 36 points or more in back-to-back weeks and lose both games.
Well, that doesn't even make any sense because their head coach Dan Quinn, what's his background? Defense. And normally that comes out and shines for him. But they've had a lot of injuries on that side of the ball, lost some key personnel. Let's give him some good news, though. Julio Jones leading the league in yards with 502. No touchdowns, though. They've got to get him in the end zone. And the rookie, Calvin Ridley, leads the league in touchdowns with 6. That's pretty impressive.
It is interesting, though. Julio Jones on pace for 2,000. And he can't find anywhere to go down. Allen Bailey in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
You're looking there, the defensive back is maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. That is incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
390.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is caught by Watkins. Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 75 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious, there came the points.
Extra point safely through, and we are tied at 7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
To throw again is Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. In our meetings this week, they kind of tipped us off. They wanted to play ultra-aggressive, forcing fumbles. They just did that right there.
They took it to the next level, didn't they? You're exactly right because